I am Pawan Prakash Gupta and right now I am in the power electronics lab. Today I am going to demonstrate you the single phase full wave controlled rectifier. For the control rectifier we are using a full bridge SCR bridge based configuration, and we are going to perform this practical for the resistive load and for the resistive inductive load. So firstly we are going to perform our practical on the resistive load. Before that, let me show you that what is the circuit diagram for this. So here actually we have a 230 volts 50 hertz supply, which actually we step down with the help of a step down transformer, which will step down it to 24 volt 50 hertz supply. Now this is the full bridge configuration. We can see that as thyristor T1, T2, T3 and T4 are connected in this manner. This is a one leg and this is the second leg. Across these legs our step down supply is connected over here and here. One terminal is connected of AC supply to here in the one leg, and other is connected to the second leg. And also our load is actually connected across these two extreme points of the bridge. Here our load can be any resistive load, any RL load, or it can be further, if you also study in your theory parts, it can be RLE load. So our major response is going to be measured across this load. Our output voltage is going to be across the load, and also we can measure the supply voltage. This is a one SCR single phase triggering circuit, which we can provide the triggering pulses for these T1, T2, T3 and T4 SCR. So further it will operate, and whenever it operates, the T1, T2 will conduct for positive alteration, and then the current flows like T1 to load to T2, and when the negative alteration occurs, the current will flows like T4 to load and to T3 in the reverse direction. So this is the way it is going to be work. Firstly we are going to perform for the resistive load in the hardware. So let's see the hardware demonstration. Now from here we are actually taking the 230 volts 50 hertz AC mains, and we are actually applied a step down transformer, output of which is actually is a 12 transformer. So for the extreme two terminals we are taking the 24 volt 50 hertz supply, and these are the two SCR boxes, two leg XCR boxes. When we connect as per the circuit diagram, these two terminals has to be shorted, these two terminals has to be shorted, and our load has to be connected between this extreme terminals. Okay, now also we can whatever be the output of our step down supply, it will going to be connected at the midpoint of this SCR legs here and here. One terminal is here of supply and another terminal is here of the supply. So after this actually we are going to connect the resistive load over here. This is our triggering box. This is our triggering signal box is there. Here we are actually having a firing angle triggering box is over here. Here the four gate triggering signals are given, G1 and cathode 1. That means gate and cathode terminals are given. So we are going to connect these all these four output of this firing angle box is over here. Here we can see that in this CR legs we are actually available with these terminals of like gate terminal, cathode terminal, G1, K1, G2, K2, because one box is actually having two SCRs. So actually it is G1 and G2, K1 and K2. Okay, now similarly the other box is also G1, K1, G2, K2. Okay, so we can connect all these four output of this SCR firing circuit to the corresponding this bridge legs. Okay, now after this we are going to start with the resistive load. So we are going to switch it on. Now we can see that in the response here, this blue one is actually our supply voltage and yellow one is actually our output voltage across the load. When we actually change this firing port position, then we can apply the certain triggering angle. So we can see that this is getting triggered at these instances here. So this is our blue one is the supply voltage. If we switch off for a time being, we can see that these are the triggering instances for the full wave rectification of the single phase supply. Okay, now also we can watch it or observe it with the supply voltage. Okay, this is the for positive alteration, this is for negative alteration, and these are the yellow one are the rectified voltage across. So when we change the firing angle from this spot, we can adjust. So we can see that as we change this angle, the triggering instances will be changed, and we can measure it with the help of the cursor, or some other options are also there. So as if we want to measure on this how much is my triggering angle, so we can do one thing. We can use this cursor and we can go here, we can set the time. First of all, let me set the cursor, channel 1 cursor. Okay, time. So here we can put like we can, why it is not changing something. Okay, see, this is the point, is actually where we can place one cursor, and for the other cursor we can place this one. Okay, this is the second cursor. We can actually move and we can place at this zero crossing. Okay, actually the DSO has the different setting, that's why maybe it has taken time to place. Now we can see that our cursor 1 position is here, cursor 2 position is here, and we can observe that it is showing that 3.6 millisecond, that is the difference of these two cursors. So we can see that our response is coming for the 3.6 millisecond. So what is our firing instant? Because one iteration is of 10 milliseconds, so we can negate 3.6 from the 10 millisecond. So ultimately we will get 6.4 millisecond. That is, if we multiply 6.4 millisecond with the 100 pi, we will get the firing instant, because alpha is equal to omega t. So in this way we can actually apply the full wave for the resistive load. Now we will going to apply for the resistive inductive load. Now for the resistive inductive load, we actually connected these two inductances in series with this lamp load, resistive load. Now we are going to observe that when we change the firing angle from here, then what will be the response for the full wave rectification of this with the control rectifier. Now this is when we actually not applied any kind of a firing angle, or the firing angle is very small. So we can see that this blue one is our supply voltage and yellow one is our rectified voltage. When we actually regulate our firing angle, then we can see that this is actually changing the firing angle, and we can also observe the negative drag over here. If we like zoom, then we can see that, let me set the little bit things, then you will observe actually the response is changing. That's because it is showing the double waveform. Let me set this one. Yeah, okay, we can see on this also. Let me set the time settings. I think the knob is actually a little bit loose, so that's why it is taking time. Now we can see that this blue one is actually supply voltage, this is our rectified voltage, and here little bit of negative drag is also there in the response. If we switch off this supply voltage, you can observe these negative drags also here in the voltage because of the inductive load. And if we change the firing angle, then we can see that with the change in the firing angle, these firing instances will be getting changed in the every rectified output. So this is nothing but our firing instant. These are the output voltage with the negative drag across the load. So this is all about the all about the single phase full wave control rectifier with the RL load also. Again, you can measure these firing instances with the help of cursor, as I shown you in the with the resistive load. So this is all about our RL load and R load with the single phase full wave rectifier. Thank you.